friends, I'm back again with another craft for you today to repurpose an old book, something that you are discarding or maybe that the library has discarded and you're going to take home and craft with it after you read it, of course. So this was a paperback book, and when the library discards the paperback books, the covers are torn off already, so I can't show you that part of the process, but that is what you want to use. A paperback book, tear off the front and back cover. You want to leave the pages intact. And you can then use the cover for your template. Today we're going to make an apple. And since I didn't have a cover, I just used some scrap cardstock. And I made kind of an apple shape. It's half the apple. And you're going to lay it on your book up against the spine like so. And then you're going to trace it with a pencil, which I forgot to grab. Pencil, pen, whatever you have, and just trace it so you have a shape like so on your book. And I did use the bottom of the book with the flat side, so I don't have as much to trace. And you can also leave your template there if you'd like. And then you want to take a razor knife and cut out the shape that you just traced, or cut along your template. I'm actually going to just trace my line. I think it'll be easier for me. And you want to press down hard and certainly use a protected surface. I put a piece of cardboard on the table to protect it from the razor knife should I slip with my cutting. And you press hard, and you can go through as many pages as you can. And if your knife isn't sharp, then just switch out your blades. Just a little spot there, but that's it. And then we're going to cut away at the top as well, because we don't need that. Okay, there. So, as you can see, we're starting to get an apple shape here. Oops, I'm tearing it. So we're going to continue cutting and go through the entire book. You want a book that's, you know, maybe about 300 pages or so. So you have a nice full, we're making an apple today. I don't think I mentioned that. A nice full apple. And then just cut there. See, we just keep cutting and pulling away the page. Hey, I'm back with just a few pages left to cut off of our shape. I didn't want to do the last few steps without you being able to see how it kind of came together. And we'll just push on through here. And my book, I just grabbed one of our paperbacks we were throwing out, and it happened to be about 400 pages. Is a good number, so it took a little longer than, you know, I was hoping for, just because it was more pages, but it goes fairly quickly. And almost done. Ooh, there we go. Just a little bit left. You're so patient watching. Okay, there we go. That is the end, and it does have some little frillies. You know, you can kind of take them off. Part of it is my blade was starting to get dull. Okay, so now you have an apple kind of shape. And you want to glue together the front page and the back page, and then it will have to dry. And you can use the regular glue, or you could use a hot glue gun. I have both here. I'm gonna go with the glue stick. And glue these pages together. And you can hold them in place with some paper clips or whatever you have, maybe a couple of clothespins or some other potato chip bag clip, anything like that. And then just let it glue together. And once that's dry, you can fan it out. And we're gonna actually, I should have done this first and I didn't. So since my glue's not dry, I'm gonna pipe in some glue right down the knew I was forgetting something, see? Okay. Glue through there. And our page is still kind of wet. So there we go. And you can paint the pages, whoops, with watercolor if you would like. The watercolor paints will certainly, pages flying everywhere. The watercolor paints will certainly give it a nice, they'll bleed in and give it some nice color. I am going to use a cotton ball and a marker. And I wanted my apple to be red, so I'm just doing that, and I'm gonna color the cotton ball. You could do anything you'd like. You could even take the marker to the edge if you wanted to give it some color. Maybe you just want your book to stay like a regular book, but I wanted to give it a little color just so that it would look like a red apple. You could make a green apple or a yellow apple, but I liked the red, so that was what I chose. I'm just going to, and certainly watercolor paints would go quicker, but not everybody has watercolor paints at home maybe, and I thought it might be easier to have the marker and the cotton ball. You would still get the color to it. And you could certainly just color it like so with your marker, but I wanted a softer red, and by putting the marker on the cotton ball first and then wiping it onto the book, it's not so bold and it looks a little more like an apple to me. Anyways, you would continue on like so. If you wanted, you could take a cinnamon stick or a twig and stick that in the top after your book is dried and set. And you can even cut a leaf out of one of your pages and stick a leaf on there if you wanted to make your leaf green. You could paint it green. I also have a bay leaf that I knocked on the floor. I took a bay leaf from home, and you could just put a little dab of glue on there. That's about all I have left. My glue gun needs a glue stick. And you could stick that in there as well. Yeah. And if you need to, just kind of play with your pages a little to fan out your apple. You could do this with other shapes and make other creations as well. You could do a pumpkin, about a big fat snowman, all kinds of things. But there you go, an apple. Have a good day.